It's all about offset lithography.
Offset lithography.
You know, those
Yeah.
crisp images you see every day in magazines, books, even product packaging.
Right.
We're going to break down how they get there.
It's a process most people
Yeah.
don't think twice about,
Right.
but it's surprisingly intricate.
Yeah.
It's called offset lithography,
Okay.
and the offset part is key.
Offset. Okay.
Instead of ink going directly onto the paper,
Uh-huh.
there's this fascinating middleman,
Okay.
a rubber blanket
A rubber blanket.
that plays a crucial role.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So our sources break it down into 4 main steps.
Okay.
First up is plate preparation.
Okay.
And I'm guessing this is more involved than just slapping some ink on a piece of metal.
Definitely more to it than that.
Okay.
We're talking finely tuned aluminum plates,
Okay.
almost like high-tech stencils.
Uh-huh.
The image is etched onto the surface in a way that attracts ink in the image areas,
Okay.
but repels it in the non-image areas.
So it's all about that precise control of where the ink goes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But here's where the real magic happens.
Okay.
The ink and water balance.
Oh.
You see, those non-image areas on the plate aren't just blank.
Uh-huh.
They're designed to attract water.
Okay.
And since water and oil-based printing ink don't mix,
Right?
you get this amazing push and pull effect
Oh.
that ensures the ink only goes where it's supposed to.
So that ink and water balance sounds like walking a tightrope?
It is. It is.
How do printers avoid
Yeah.
tipping over into smudging or streaking?
It's all about meticulous control and careful calibration.
Right.
Printers have to constantly monitor the ink's viscosity,
Mm-hmm.
making sure it's not too thick or too thin,
Okay.
while also maintaining that delicate balance with the water.
I see.
Too much ink and you get a blurry mess.
Right.
Too much water and you lose those vibrant colors.
Okay, so we've got the plate, the ink, the water, all working together. Now, what about this mysterious rubber blanket?
Yes.
Where does it fit into all of this?
The rubber blanket is the key to the offset part of the process.
Okay.
It receives the inked image from the plate
Mm-hmm.
and then transfers it to the paper.
Okay.
And because it's flexible,
Right.
it can conform to the texture of the printing surface,
Interesting.
ensuring an even and crisp transfer.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that older,
Yeah.
more direct printing methods couldn't achieve as consistently.
So that's the secret to those sharp images.
Exactly.
It's not just about the quality of the ink or the plate.
Right.
It's also about this indirect transfer
Yes.
that ensures everything comes out looking perfect.
It's one of the main reasons offset lithography has been the industry standard for high-quality printing for so long.
I see.
And speaking of quality,
Yeah.
we can't forget about color.
Right.
It's one thing to print a black and white image,
Uh-huh.
but getting those vibrant, full-color prints
Yeah.
involves a whole other level of complexity.
I was just flipping through a magazine with some stunningly vivid photos.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's almost like magic how those colors come together.
It is. It is.
Okay, give me the inside scoop on color separation.
Well, forget about mixing colors like you would with paint
Okay.
in offset printing.
Yeah.
It all comes down to the CMYK model.
CMYK.
Cyan, magenta, yellow, and key black.
Oh, okay.
You're actually already familiar with this from your computer's printer settings.
CMYK, I do recognize that.
Yeah.
But how do they actually separate the colors for printing?
Right.
Do they have some microscopic paintbrush meticulously applying each color dot by dot?
That would take forever.
Yeah.
No, it's a digital process these days.
Okay.
The original image is scanned or created digitally,
Okay.
and then sophisticated software
Uh-huh.
analyzes it and separates it into its CMYK components.
So instead of one plate, you now have 4,
Precisely.
one for each color.
Each plate is carefully calibrated to transfer only its specific color.
Oh, wow.
Then during the printing process, the colors are applied one by one.
Okay.
Typically, cyan, magenta, yellow, then black.
I see.
It's like building a full-color image layer by layer.
And because the inks are transparent,
Yes.
they blend together optically on the paper,
They do.
creating all those amazing shades and hues. That's just incredible.
It really is a beautiful blend of science and art.
Yeah.
Achieving that level of precision and color accuracy doesn't just happen by chance, though.
Right.
It requires meticulous quality control every step of the way.
Uh-huh.
That's how printers ensure that every print that comes off the press
Yeah.
meets those incredibly high standards we're used to seeing.
Speaking of quality control,
Yes.
our sources highlight a whole bunch of checks and balances that go into offset lithography,
Right.
starting with the plates themselves.
Okay.
I'm guessing they don't just eyeball those for imperfections?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Every plate is meticulously inspected
Uh,
for any flaws, scratches, or anything that could compromise the final print. It's the foundation of the whole process.
yeah.
So even a tiny imperfection can be magnified in the final product.
It's like baking a cake.
Oh, yeah.
If you start with bad ingredients,
Right.
it doesn't matter how good your recipe is,
Exactly.
the cake won't turn out right.
I like that analogy.
And just like you need the right ingredients,
Yep.
you need the right calibration.
Yeah.
The plates are calibrated to ensure the image and non-image areas are perfectly defined.
Right.
So the ink goes exactly where it's supposed to.
It's all about precision.
So they're not just looking for visible flaws,
Mhm.
but also making sure the plate is chemically perfect for that precise ink and water interaction.
Has to be, yeah.
What about the ink itself?
Yeah.
What kind of quality control happens there?
Ink consistency is crucial.
Okay.
They're constantly monitoring the viscosity to ensure it spreads evenly and doesn't clog up the press.
Right.
They also scrutinize the color, making sure it matches the specifications perfectly. And of course, they're maintaining that crucial ink-water balance we talked about.
Wow. So much attention to detail just for the ink.
It's all part of the process.
And then, of course, there's the print quality check,
Right.
which is where they really scrutinize the final product.
Exactly.
Now, this is where I imagine they're looking at things like registration, dot gain, and density.
All important factors.
Those are terms that get thrown around a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm not always sure what they actually mean for the final print.
Well, registration is all about making sure that different colors in a multicolor print are perfectly aligned.
Okay.
Think about a magazine cover with a photograph and some text.
Uh-huh.
If the colors are even slightly misaligned, it'll look blurry and unprofessional.
Ah, so that's what registration is all about. It's
Yeah.
not just about getting the colors right, but also making sure that they're in the right place.
Absolutely.
What about dot gain?
Dot gain refers to how much the ink dots spread out on the paper.
Okay.
You want those dots to be crisp and well-defined. Too much spreading, and the image will lose its sharpness and detail.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's all about controlling that ink spread to maintain the integrity of the image.
Precisely.
And what about density?
Density is all about the amount of ink on the paper,
Okay.
which directly affects how vibrant and rich the colors look.
Mm-hmm.
Too little ink,
Mm-hmm.
and the colors will look washed out.
Right.
Too much, and you risk smudging and losing detail.
So they're not just looking at things with the naked eye.
Yeah,
They're really analyzing those tiny dots of ink,
There.
making sure they're the right size, shape,
Mm.
and in the right place.
All of it.
It's amazing how much goes into something we usually just take for granted.
It really is.
And we haven't even talked about the paper quality check yet.
Oh, right, the paper.
Wait, there's more.
There is
I thought paper was just paper.
not so fast.
Okay.
The paper itself plays a huge role in how the final print turns out.
Oh, okay.
They need to make sure the paper has the right surface smoothness.
Mhm.
So the ink adheres evenly.
Okay.
A rough or uneven surface can lead to blotching and inconsistencies in the print.
Right.
They also check the moisture content of the paper,
Oh, interesting.
because too much or too little moisture can affect how the ink is absorbed
Oh, wow.
and even cause the paper to curl or wrinkle.
Wow, I had no idea there was so much to consider just for the paper.
It's more complicated than it seems, yeah.
And to top it all off,
Yeah,
there's the final inspection.
right, the grand finale.
Okay, so what happens in this grand finale of quality control?
This is where they do a visual inspection of the finished prints,
Okay.
looking for any last-minute problems,
Uh-huh.
like smudges, streaks,
Right.
color inconsistencies, anything that slipped through the cracks.
I see.
And then, just to be extra sure,
Uh-huh.
they do some sample testing,
Okay.
comparing random prints against the original design
Right.
to ensure accuracy and consistency.
It's like a multi-layered safety net,
It is
catching any potential problems at every stage.
protecting that final product.
I'm starting to think these folks deserve some kind of printing superhero award
I think they would agree.
for all this meticulous work.
Remember, all this is just a glimpse into the world of offset lithography.
Right.
There are countless other factors
Yeah.
that affect the final quality of the print,
Uh-huh.
but hopefully this gives you a deeper appreciation
Yeah, it does.
for the complexity and precision
Definitely.
behind those seemingly simple printed images we encounter every day.
You've definitely given me a whole new perspective.
I'm glad to hear it.
Who knew there was so much science and art involved in printing a magazine or a book?
It's a fascinating process.
And you know what really stood out to me is how crucial that rubber blanket is.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the unsung hero of the whole process.
It is. It really is.
Ensuring that level of sharpness and detail that we associate with high-quality prints.
That's right.
What about you? What's
Okay.
been the most fascinating part for you so far?
For me, it's the ink and water balance.
Oh, yeah.
It's such a delicate dance.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that printers can control it so precisely
Yeah.
to achieve those stunning results is truly remarkable.
Right.
It's a testament to their skill and expertise.
It's like they're alchemists,
I like that.
transforming simple ingredients into a world of vibrant images.
Precisely. But as fascinating as offset lithography is,
Yeah.
it's not the only player in the printing game anymore.
Right.
In our next part,
Uh-huh.
we'll explore the rise of digital printing
Okay.
and how it compares to this tried and true method.
That's right. We'll be diving into the pros and cons of each method,
Exactly.
exploring when you might choose one over the other.
Yep.
So stick around. There's much more to uncover.
There is.